Welcome guys to the Slowpoke World. Today I got a sort of off the wall, potentially bonkers deck for you, but it's a deck that on paper, a lot of things are adding up for it, you know. Super strong, super tanky, 2 prizer, which is funny to say, it's actually an advantage these days. But 2 prizer, you know, really tanky, good attack. There's a lot going for it. Let's have a look at Flygon GX. Starting off with our Flygon GX, oh sexy geezer. So here we go, we got Flygon GX stage 2 Pokemon, 240 HP. As long as this Pokemon's in the active position, all of your Pokemon take 30 less damage from attacks. Now this is slightly similar to just this Pokemon takes 30 less damage like a Dreadnought would have. But this will actually protect the bench as well. So if let's say your opponent was using Jet Punch from Lucario, I'm not sure what the attack's called, let's just call it Jet Punch for now. Does what, 40 and 30 to the active, something like that. 40 to the active, 20 to the bench. As Flygon's in the active, it actually does 10 to Flygon and it does 0 to the bench because the ability protects the bench as well. And there's a lot of actually there's a lot of bench sniping decks coming out. You know, Cramorant with long view scope, and you got Darmanitan VMAX. Funny enough, oh, my mic was so far away. I hope that sounded okay. But funnily enough, if this was in the active against Darmanitan VMAX, it actually do 0 to the bench. So let's have a look at the attacks as well. So you got Desert Hurricane for 3 fighters. You do 120. If there's a stadium card in play, discard that stadium, then do 120 more. So you do 240. Good number. Good number, 240. 2 shots everything. Fighting types, it 1 shots Eternatus, it 1 shots Pikarom, and it 1 shot Pikachu VMAX if anyone's trying that as well, which is pretty cool. And then with Dojo in play, Dojo will work with this because you calculate damage first. So how much would you do then? So you do 240, you do 270 if you're behind on prizes, which you will be, not gonna lie. So Desert Hurricane, good attack, 270. It's getting close to 1 shot in tag teams. Pretty cool. And you got Sonic Edge, 220. It isn't affected by any effects on your opponent's active Pokemon. I mean, it's nice to have, I guess, but I guess if you haven't got a stadium in play, you can do Sonic Edge and pretend like you have. Pretty cool. Or if you want to keep stadium in play as well. So the V-Brava in this deck is actually super important, and that's why we play 4 count of them. So here's the reason why. Stage 1 Pokemon, 80 HP with an attack Flap. I love that attack name. 1 fight, 1 color, you do 40 damage. Okay, that's, you know, so. But the ability Obnoxious Whirring. Whenever your opponent plays a portal card from their hand, prevent all effects of that card done to this Pokemon. So what that means is your opponent can't boss his orders around. That's the idea. So this is good for a number of reasons. So once you've got a Flygon out and you've got a V-Brava on the bench, your opponent can't go around the Flygon, which is pretty cool. Provided you've only got V-Bravas. And it just means that once they're there, your opponent can't start picking them off. And you'll see why that's kind of important. The V-Brava is really important in this deck. The Trapinch, however, isn't. This one just does 2 for 30. There's another one that had like a better attack that had 50 HP. And with bench sniping on the rise, I thought going for the 6 HP one's kind of self-explanatory. Let me play 4 of the new Snorlax. So let's say we have Snorlax in the active, right? And we've got 1 V-Brava on the bench. Your opponent doesn't want to hit Snorlax. We know this. It's 130 HP basic Pokemon. But they can't boss orders around V-Brava. That's the idea. But let's actually have a look at Snorlax in case you didn't know what it does here, because it is a new card. Basic Pokemon with an ability Stuff Up. I think that get translated. I think it got translated as like Gormadize or something in English. Once during your turn, if this Pokemon is in the active spot, you may draw until you have 7 cards in your hand. If you do, your turn ends. And you got an attack for 4 colors, Body Slam for 100 damage, flip a coin, if your opponent's active is now paralyzed. Now, we can't actually probably ain't going to be using Body Slam. We're only using this as our ability. We're being a bit cheeky here. We're actually only using this as our predominantly way of drawing cards. But it is a very good way of drawing cards because we need to get a load of combo pieces in our hands. So let us do that whilst only giving up 1 prize. Pretty cool indeed. So yeah, that's our sort of combo. Let's get on to supporters. Supporters actually is what keep the deck ticking over. We actually play a full 3 count of Guzmahala. And this is for a number of reasons. Because it searches out our special energies, which will flip over now. Because it'll see why it's so relevant. So, Guzmahala, obviously, discard 2 cards from your hand. You can search your deck for a special energy, a stadium, and a tool card, right? Stone Fighting Energy is really cool in here. Because for every Stone Energy you've got attached, it provides a fighting energy as well, but the Pokemon's attached to takes 20 less. So if we have 2 of these attached to our Flygon, we're actually at minus 70 now. You know, big charm effective, 270 health, you know, plus another 70 resist. It gets a bit silly. So the idea is, if we can bang on as many of these stone fighting energies to our Vibrava, our opponents can't boss us orders them up anyway, and then we can just evolve with like a crazy strong Flygon. It's going to take a few prizes, right? That's the idea. Then when that Flygon goes down, we can just go straight back into our next Snorlax, draw up, or if we haven't got enough prizes left, we can do a red and blue, which will let us discard 2 cards on our hand to search our deck for a GX that evolves from one of our Pokemon, and then we can attach 2 energies to that Pokemon. So that's the idea. Our first Flygon is going to be super tanky and hard to deal with. Try and take 3 or 4 prizes with that one, and then we can just bang into the next one straight away. Red and blue up, attach, and then away we go. That's the sort of game plan I find with Flygon, and it's actually not too hard to do, because once you get the Vibrava, you know it's not going anywhere. Like, it isn't like you have to find rare candy and the stage 2 in turn. You can go into Vibrava, you know, and once that Flygon's out, it ain't going anywhere either. It's a scary strong Pokemon, so that's the idea. So with super tag team support or Reliant for sure. 2 Busters, we might not even have that many times to really use them, but obviously you want to have them anyway. So we've got 2 Busters orders there. 2 Marnie, a little bit of disruption. You know, if we can like put our opponent to a 4-card hand, take a big swing knockout with Flygon that has like an effective like 300 HP or 300 up, and be like, deal with this. You know, kind of scary. 2 Marilana for a similar vein. If we can preserve that first really scary Flygon, it's going to be really well good for us. Maybe even start healing up Snorlax if they're just dinking and dacking Snorlax. We're trying to try and get multiple Gormadizers off. Merlin, just when you're so tanky with your Flygon, which is a tanky 2 prizer, we want to try and keep him around for as long as possible. And you got 1 Cynthia Calyx, we're playing the full tag team supporter package. Let's go on to our stadiums whilst we're here. We've got 4 Dojo. Again, you know, if we're behind on prizes, our whatever our attack's called, the Dusty Hurricane or whatever, goes up to like 270. Really strong number for 2 prizes. Or just 230. Really nice. And obviously we need to have multiple stages in play for our Dusty Hurricane to get that 120 buff as well. So we've got to play a few, which is why we actually play one off Wondrous Labyrinth. You never know when that could come up, to be fair. Really cool. Okay, for our items, we play 4 Quick Ball. No, shouldn't have to explain why there. Get Champions down, get Snorlaxes down, all that good stuff. 4 Switch, just so we can, you know, maneuver around Snorlax, try and get Snorlax into the active if he isn't already, all that good stuff. If Snorlax survives a turn, we want to start attacking with Flygon, just switch him out the active as well. So 4 switches are pretty much a non-negotiable. Now this might look odd. Our only Pokemon search outside Quick Ball is 4 Evolution Incense. And that's pure because we want to actually get the Vibravas out, right? So we're going to need a way of searching those out. I think Pokecoms, I don't think we play enough Pokemon for that to really be effective. And because we fill our hands so much with Snorlax anyway, I feel as if we can just pop off some Evolution Incense, it's going to be quite nice. So yeah, 4 Evo Incense. Like I said, we are Tag Cool support of Indian, so we're going to play 3 Tag Cools for that same vein. So we can just pluck out the Red Blue when we need them, pluck out Guz Hala when we need them. Really cool. And then 2 Big Charm, so it's going to give us our Flygon effective, what's that, 270, 290 health when you've got the Big Charm involved. Once you take into account the ability, you know, put a couple Stone Fighting, you're at 330 now. You're at VMAX levels of HP on a 2 prizer. And we've got 1 U-turn board, just so we can leave that 1 U-turn board on one of our Vibravas to act as a pivot for the whole game if needed. We've got 4 Stone Fightings. And we finish off the list. What's that for? 6 basic fightings, is it? Good number. Again, we can be super like patient with them. We need to have some for Red Blue, because Red Blue only works for basics as well. But yeah. So there's the full list. Let me just get it all on screen. There we go. Let me know what you think. Is it a bit too wacky? We gonna give it a go. Give it a go. 2 prizes, you know what I mean? Really strong and slaps the VMAX decks. But let me know what you think. If you have the more voltage gameplay and depth profiles, you're not already subscribed, do us a favor, hit that subscribe button. Trying to get to 2K for the end of the year. Looks like it's going to be a little bit too hard now, but you never know. All support is greatly appreciated. But thank you for watching, and I'll see you all next time.